This stream contains important questions and topics from ratio and proportion from quantitative aptitude. So this is the first question. Ratio of A score to B score and ratio of B score to C score is given. We have to find out the ratio between A score and C score. Take your time and try to solve it. So in these kinds of questions, what we have to do is to find A is to B is to C. So how can you do that? When you look at A is to B, A is 2 parts and B is 3 parts. When you look at B is to C, B is 8 parts and C is 5 parts. So your aim is to make the B part in both of these equal. If you multiply this with 8, you will get A is to B as 16 is to 24. If you multiply this with 3, you will get B is to C, 24 is to 15. The overall ratio will still remain the same. 24 is to 15 means 24 by 15 we are multiplying this to make these parts equal. All you have to do is club it together. So A is to B is to C will be 16 is to 24 is to 15. So the ratio of team A to the team C score will be 16 is to 15. So this is the first method to solve this problem. All you have to do is to find these parts 3 and 8, find the LCM which is 24 and multiply both the ratios with 8 and 3, you will get the final answer as 16 is to 15. So now let's look at the second method. Is to multiply 2 into 8, 2 into 8, you get 16. Then you multiply 3 into 8, you will get 24. Then you multiply 3 into 5, you will get 15. So this will also yield the same answer. The second question is also a similar one, so you will understand it better when we do that. So that's our second question. Now try to solve it on your own. Using the same method, you can use the first method or the second method. If you're using the first method, then it is going to be very long because it involves 4 different ratios and it is hard to find the LCM for all of those. So try to apply the second method. I will give you a minute to do that. I hope you have tried to solve the question. The question says that there are 5 members and the ratio of number of comments by the members is given below. And the question is to find the ratio between the number of comments posted by member A and member E. So just like the last question, we have to find out A is to B is to C is to D is to E. So I showed you 2 methods to solve these kinds of questions. The first method was to find out the LCM. If you try to apply the LCM method here, then you have to find out the LCM here, here and here. So the easiest here is to do the second method. So the second method was multiply everything that is in line here, 2, 4, 6, 12. So 2 into 4, 8, 8 into 6, 48 into 12. 48 into 12 is 480, 96. So 576, 5, 7, 6. To find the second one, you have to multiply 3, 4, 6, 12. 3 into 4, 12. 12 into 12, 144. 144 into 6 is 144 into 6, 24, 24, 26, 6, 8, 864. For finding the next ratio, you have to multiply 3, 5, 6 and 12. So 3, 5, 15, 15 into 6 is 90, 90 into 12 is 900, 1080. 1080 is to, next one will be 3, 5, 11 and 12 and the last one will be 3, 5, 11 and 17. So 3 into 5 into 11 into 12 will become 1980 and the last one is 2805. So the ratio between the number of comments posted by member A and member E will be 576 is to 2805. So since the question was to find out the ratio between A is to E, instead of doing all of this, you can simply do 2 into 4 into 6 into 12, which will be A, and 3 into 5 into 11 into 17, which is E. So that's how you find A is to E. In an exam conducted by IIM, there will be at least a small percentage of questions which are very tough to solve. You have to keep that in mind, and whenever you get a question which is very tough and will take up a lot of time, you should definitely skip it. So whenever you get a question, try to read and understand the question. And number 2, try to find a path to the solution. You don't necessarily need to have everything figured out before doing the question, but you should at least have an idea about how to reach the solution. If you don't have a particular approach in your mind, then it's better to leave the question or keep the question aside to do it after you have completed everything else. So you can read this question and try to solve it. Okay, so let me give the solution. So there is $5783 in the beginning, and then the money is divided among A, B and C in such a way that when $28, $37 and $18 is deducted from their respective shares, they have money in the ratio of 4:6:9. So what I will do is assume that A has 4x, B has 6x and C has 9x money with them after the deduction. So to get the money in their hand before the deduction, all you have to do is to add whatever was reduced plus $28 plus 37 plus 18. And if you look at the question, the sum of all of these values will be 5783. So 4x plus 6x plus 9x will be 4, 10, 19x. 19x plus 28 plus 37 is 35, 65 plus 65 plus 18, 73, 83. 83 is equal to 5783. 19x is equal to 5783 minus 83, so 5700. X is equal to 5700 divided by 19. 300. So the value of x is 300. Now the question is to find the share of A. A had a share of 4x plus 28. So 4 into x is 4 into 300, 1200 plus 28, 1228 dollars. So option B is the answer. I hope you understood how to do this question. So now we move on to the next one. You can take a minute and try to solve the question. So let's look at the question. We have the ratio P by Q and 1 is added to both numerator and denominator. It will become P plus 1 by Q plus 1, which is equal to R by S. Again 1 is added, R plus 1 by S plus 1, and that is equal to 1 by 2. Now the question is to find the sum of P and Q, which means you have to find out P is to Q and then add the values. So if you look at this question, it's very tough to solve because it has a lot of variables. You have to find out S from here or R from here, substitute it here. So it's going to take a lot of time. So in my opinion, doing this question is not worth your time. So this is where you have to make that call, whether to do this now or to keep it aside for later. If it was me, I will definitely keep it aside because it will take a lot of my time and I may not end up and I miss out on some easy questions. Your aim is to solve the maximum number of questions and not to solve the toughest ones. So even if I am doing this at the end of my test, what I will do is to try to solve it through options. So either A, B, C or D is a sum of P and Q. So let's take option A. The possibility of ratio between P and Q will be 1:2 or 2:1. So if I assume it as 1:2, then I add 1 to both numerator and denominator, it will become 2:3. Then again, if I add 1 to numerator and denominator, it will become 3:4. But the final value of the ratio was 1:2 and not 3:4. So you can discard that option. So if you assume it as 1:2 or 2:1, you are not going to get the answer. So option A is not our final answer. Now we take option B. The sum is 4, so the possible options are 1:3 or 3:1 and then 2:2. 2:2 is not at all possible, so we can leave it aside. 1:3. So if we take 1:3, it will become 2:4 and it will become 3:5. So again, it is not equal to 1:2. So option B is also not right. Now we come to option C. The possibilities from option C is 1:4, 2:3. So you take 1:4, you add 1 to it, you will get 2:5. You add 1 to it, you will get 3:6. So 3:6 means 1:2. So the answer required here is option C, 5. So this is the method of solution that I prefer. If you have any other methods, then do let me know through the comments. So you might ask me why I did not consider 2:1 or 3:1 or 4:1. The reason I did not consider it was, in the final answer we require, that is 1:2, the numerator is lesser. So suppose if I took 4:1, it will end up as 6:3, which is 2:1. So we don't have to take that part where the numerator is greater than the denominator part. I hope you understood this question. You might feel confident that you have solved this question and you understood it properly.